Hey, good day, good day. What's up, people? Uh, Happy New Year's to everyone. I hope you enjoyed your evening. I just got a phone call and was talking with someone about some of the parties that they went to, and I didn't go out. I chose to celebrate by eating a good meal, talking to my granddaughter. I talked to my mom previously earlier in the day. Talked to my sister. Things that matter. Watch me a good movie. That's how I brought it in. But you people uh, don't even quite know how to start. But I got a couple of emails, a couple of texts, and once I read them, I was like, okay, I can see we off to a good start, if that's what you want to call it. And don't necessarily know how to convey the news, but I think this is part of my responsibilities, like I said previously, to expose some of the nonsense that our community go through. I'm talking specifically about the black community. Uh, we're responsible for what goes in it and what comes out of it. And we're responsible for our own behavior and our kids' behavior, uh, whether we choose to realize it or not. But I can see, based on the information I just received, we're off to a great start. We're off to a great start. Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. Right. Let me report to you the few stories that I have already. And I'm not going to make a long statement about this because this is ridiculous. Once again, here we go. 3 dead after 7 shot at a New Year's party. Can't even go out and enjoy yourself. Google it, look it up. I'm not going to go into detail about it. And before that, 2 juveniles were arrested for shooting at a basketball tournament in Catawba College. Think about that for a second. 2 juveniles being arrested at a basketball tournament at a college. Juveniles. I mean, just Google it, look it up yourself. I'm not gonna go into just nonsense. Can't even bring it into the new year and enjoy yourself when you got crazy stuff like this happen. Now, some of the uptown celebrations went off without a hitch. So some people were able to enjoy themselves based on the COVID restrictions, of course. You would think we would get off to a great start, but I can see Black Lives Matter, right? Here we go. And the stuff that we talk about, what we deem to be important, is not really that important. I can tell you what is important, important, and what has been reported to me. And this story goes not into specific detail, but her life matters too. Well, you had a group at a bar called the 5-9 Bar. Never heard of it, but apparently that's a bar. The 5-9 Bar. Five, as in 5, 9, Nine, Bar. Look it up yourself. 2 groups were out there fighting. Well, let's just say this New Year's party didn't go without a hitch. Italia McGregor is no longer with us. She was shot because 2 groups were outside fighting or inside the bar fighting at a hookah bar. I think I understand what kind of bar that is, but I think it has something to do with the different brands of smokes or herbs, what it is that they do at the particular bar. I don't go there, but I think I got an idea of what it pertains to. But you had these 2 groups out there fighting. And one idiot, you can see the news footage. If you just look up her name, I'm pretty sure you'll be able to find it. But one idiot pulled out a gun and fired off 15 to 20 shots. And all the casings were located out there, once the police got there and everything like that there. And took a look at the scene. But Italia McGregor didn't make it. Her name is spelled Italia McGregor. McGregor. So you can look up her name and you'll see the incident itself. Black Lives Matter. Right. Two more people in the same incident were shot and taken to the hospital. Don't know if they're okay or not. We're not even a few hours into the new year, and you got stuff like this happen. But my ultimate concern is, how do we move forward? But if you don't address things like this, like the things I just talked about, and the incidents, well, innocent lives like Italia, be it involved, whether she was involved or not, you don't know because the stuff is still ongoing. But she's no longer here because somebody pulled out a gun. The groups were fighting, but somebody pulled out a gun. That's how things happen. We out there clowning around. Black Lives Matter, right? Not to each other, apparently, because we're still killing one another. But I can see we all to a great start. Now, the reason why I keep saying Black Lives Matter is the fact that when our interaction with law enforcement, because they have to show up to scenes like this, our interaction with them, the outcomes are not that good. And we tend to overblow things or exaggerate our involvement with law enforcement, like they're the enemy, and they're here to solve crimes like this, like that. This is ongoing. So I'm just stunned by, and this is not the only news story. I just came on just now because this, just happened. It's like a few hours in, and I was trying to make up my mind what I was going to talk about. Initially, I was going to talk about the raids and the store, the crimes that were happening within the store, where people would run in gangs of people and just bust glass and take merchandise and run and jump in the cars, stuff like that. They're busting out car windows, like a snatch and grab. That's like the latest trend. And I know my people. So we're involved in it. And I've seen the images. But then this just hit me because this stuff was just coming in. I'm still getting information. But this is ridiculous, people. This is ridiculous. There's been other murders, but hers is like the first one that actually came to me by a news cycle. So, I'm praying for her family because this is ridiculous. Of course, she's in her 20s, based on what I read and what I've seen from the information. The two people that I don't know their condition, but, they're currently in a hospital or have been released. I think maybe one person has been released, but I know it's a man and a woman. But I know there's one woman who's no longer with her, and that's Ms. McGregor. So, not even into a few hours of the new year, and we're already out there killing one another. But it seems like our ultimate enemy is law enforcement, and I don't understand it. When they're the ones that have to come in and solve the crimes that we do. We're our own worst enemy, and it seems like no one wants to speak out about it. They always want to talk about Black Lives Matter when it comes to law enforcement. What you going to do without law enforcement? You don't even have control of your own kids. The two juveniles that were shooting at a college, and they got guns, and they managed to get inside, and do the things that they did. Two juveniles arrested at a Catawba college, and they're out there shooting at a basketball tournament. We don't want to address stuff like this here. The only time Black Lives Matter is when our interaction with law enforcement, and that's BS. Get a hold of your children. This is not, of course, what we want to see, and it's not the things that I'm hoping for my people. We could do better, but it's just the fact that no one's talking about it. They want to talk about the interaction with the police and how they conduct themselves when they're out in society. Why police show up? Because they got to deal with stuff like this. This is the reason why they show up. because of our ignorant behavior out there in the streets. I don't want to hear no more about no Black Lives Matter when you got stuff like this is happening and nobody wants to talk about it. Matter of fact, I think I'm the only one that has a YouTube page concerning stuff and exposing stuff when it concerns our own behavior and the stuff we do one another. We shooting and killing one another every day. It's not the police, it's us. And the quicker we address it, the better off we'll be as a people. But I can sure tell we off to a great start. Black Lives Matter my ass. I don't even care about it. I don't even care about it because the whole thing is BS. The whole thing is BS. Because if it was important, you'll be concerned about it in your own neighborhood. I told you, no more visits for me. I'm not going no more visits. I'm not even showing up. I used to do stuff like that, but I'm not doing it no more. Because we don't even respect one another. Every time I see the logo Black Lives Matter, it's like, okay, well, I hope you show up when there's a shooting in your neighborhood. I hope you out there in the street with the microphone and the blast horn and the signs. You know what I'm saying? All those great images. And y'all not doing anything about it when it comes to your own community, your own kids dying. Only when it's concerning the police. And the unfortunate things that happen when we get involved in that kind of matter. And those things are wrong too. Let's just don't talk about one thing. Talk about all of it. And the stuff that we do to each other every day. Because if Black Lives Matter, then it truly should matter all the time. Not just when you fighting with the police. I don't understand it. It's just ridiculous. The stuff we choose to stand up for. And we got our kids out here doing stuff like that, committing murders and gang violence every day. And nobody wants to talk about it. Only when the police show up and you got to fight with them. Because you can't keep the negativity under control. And 9 times out of 10, it is going to turn out violent. Because they're not going to be sitting there wanting to come in and deal with this type of behavior every day. They're there to solve your murders. And the violent crimes that go in your community. They're not out there hunting us. That's BS. The whole Black Lives Matter movement is BS. Because if it's not, then Black Lives Matter should be out there protesting at that New Year's party where 3 people died, 7 people shot. Black Lives Matter should be out there at Catawba College protesting, against the 2 teens that were arrested. Black Lives Matter should be out there for Mrs. McGregor, who was killed not even a few hours ago, coming out of one of those smokehouses or hookah party, whatever you want to call it. But it's basically, like, to me, it's like a smoke shop. Unless I'm wrong, somebody tell me or leave it in the comments or something. Black Lives Matter should be showing up when we have these shootings and protesters out there in the streets. You know what I'm saying? They're like y'all normally do, tear up stuff. Well, let's go to bat for one another when our kids are out there suffering and shooting and killing one another. When the gangs out there taking over the doggone neighborhood. Where's Black Lives Matter? The whole thing is BS. And ain't nobody can tell me anything different. If you got a smarter answer, you think you got a better solution than I got, leave it in the comment section. Otherwise, don't be sending me nonsense like this here. You don't want me to talk about it because that's what I'm going to do. About hollering at me in my face about Black Lives Matter. Well, let's see it. Let's see it. Somebody stand up for Miss McGregor. Somebody stand up for the police when they coming in there and having to solve crimes or arrest the juveniles who out there with guns. Somebody stand up. Black Lives Matter should be standing up for the 3 people that were killed and the 7 people that were shot at that New Year's party. Not even a few hours into the New Year's. And this is what y'all do. Black Lives Matter my ass. Have a good night.